Alright guys, welcome to the next video on the Desmos Scientific Calculator. In this video, we're going to explore how we can use things like percents and decimals and fractions on the Desmos calculator. So we have some questions here, right? The first one is, what is the tax on $6.99 if tax is 10.25%? So on Desmos, on my main screen, I have a percent button here, and every time I press it, it actually says percent of. So, right, I need to find the tax on this item, right, which is 10.25, and I'll say percent of $6.99. So I can see that there is, with rounding, there's 72 cents tax. If I wanted to find out the total amount that would all cost me, right, I could say $6.99 plus ANS plus N in the tax, which is the number from my last answer. Right, we have a very similar question. What's 18% gratuity on a bill of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Right, so again, I'm going to come here, I'm going to say 18, and I'll press the percent key, and it will automatically put percent of, and I need 18% of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's how much the gratuity is. If I wanted to add it onto the bill, I could take this, maybe put it in parentheses, and say add on to that, the original subtotal. On this next question here, I have a expression we're going to evaluate. It might look familiar to you if you've ever studied simple interest. This is a simple interest equation. The issue is that as I start to type it, 100 times 1 plus 5% to the 18th, and sorry, this is a compound interest, it's not simple interest. And right, we can see we get an error here. Right, because I have this 5% of, and I don't put anything here. So what I have to do is I have to convert 5% into a decimal, right? I do that by moving the decimal over 2 places. So, right, 5% is kind of like 5 point, but when I move the point over 2 places, I get 0.05. Right, the other way I could do this, if I don't like converting between decimals and fractions, is I could just put here 5%, and it says of, and I know I have to put something here. But if I put 5% of 1, you'll see that I get the same answer. And it's true, if I do 5% of 1 on a new line, I can see it gives me 5% as a decimal. So this is kind of a cheat for if you don't want to convert your decimals to a percent. You have to put percent of something, but you can put percent of 1. Right, we have another similar question where, again, I have a percent, but I don't have percent of anything. So what's going to happen is that I'm going to have to either convert it to a decimal times, and the time should go up here. Right, it doesn't want to let me type the times up here, so I'll type it like that. Right, I could type it like this, or I could change it up again and say that this is 5% of 1 times 18. Right, and get the same answer. Right, this last one says, what is 1/9 as a percent? So I'll start by typing in 1/9 into Desmos, and I get a decimal, right? And now I have to convert it to a percent. So I have 2 options. I can move the decimal over 2 places, so it goes kind of right between here and here, and see that it's 11.111%. Or a trick that works on all calculators, if I want Desmos to move the decimal 2 places over for me, I could say times 100. And I can kind of see as I type that in, the decimal moves over a place, and I get 11.111. So 1/9 as a percent must be 11.111%.